Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. That's Daniel Cormier, the skinny Daniel Cormier. I saw a couple of photos of you. You actually got some abs. What happened?
There's no abs, Frank. There's maybe one partial ab. I think, I didn't have abs even at 185 when I was wrestling in college.
Yeah, it's not like your body type. It's kind of weird. Like you're a guy that's in shape. You're not. You cut weight hard. You train hard. You diet right, but you still just weren't a guy that ever had abs. You're kind of like
it's a barrel. I've kind of got a barrel chest. That's just kind of my physique, and I accept it.
It's good that you can accept it and you're okay with it. Because to be
I'm
okay,
fine.
you have to be okay with you to be able to okay with anybody else first.
You know what? I was okay when I was 260. Now, the one thing I'm not okay with is my friends that are all the people on my wrestling team not telling me that I have absolutely no hair on the top of my head. That bothers me more than anything. I saw a picture the other day, Trigg, and they took a picture from the top, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm worried about this right here. Why is no one telling me about what's going on in the back over here?
You just need to, go ahead and go bald, baby. Just get it over with now. Hit it ahead of the curve.
Letting go is the hardest thing to do, Trigg.
Yes.
Because once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, no. I thought mine was gonna be gone a long, long time ago. So I started shaving in '94, and it still grows. It's still there. So,
you know what? I actually was thinking about shaving. I was like, Selena, I'm gonna shave it, and then it'll all grow back even. And she's like, you shave your hair, it'll never grow back.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Mine keeps coming back. Yeah, now it's a burden because I got to shave every 3 days. Whether I want to or not, it's a burden. I thought it was cool for a while. Now it's just a pain in my butt. Speaking about pains and butts, let's talk about Rashad Evans. This is going to be a huge matchup at UFC 170 co-main event. Obviously, Ronda Rousey and Shirley McMahon in the main event. Wow, this is a big matchup. You at 205 could be more deadly than you were at heavyweight, but it's still a question because it's the first time down at the weight. You're trying to get yourself down and acclimated and get comfortable.
Yeah, I like to say you don't just get these fights. You have to earn these fights. You don't get to stand across the cage from Rashad Evans. You don't get to stand across the cage from Frank Mir. You don't get those fights. You earn those fights. So when people say, well, you got thrown into the deep end, I didn't get thrown into the deep end. I earned my way into the deep end by beating the guys that I've beaten. You know what? It's a tall order for a first time down, but I'm 110% ready for it, Trigg. I want to be the champion of the UFC, and in order to do that, I have to go through guys like Rashad Evans. And if I can make a statement on February 22nd, at 14-0 with 3 UFC champions on my resume and six guys that have fought for the UFC title on my resume, I should be a guy that should fight for the UFC title.
Do you think you beating Rashad Evans will definitely put you in the next in line for the title?
It should. People are very excited about an Alexander Gustafsson rematch, right? They are. Put me in there against John Jones, I'll beat John Jones. So instead of promoting a guy that lost to the champion, promote the champion trying to reclaim his title. It means more. I'll beat him. So give me the opportunity to fight him if I get past Rashad, and then promote him trying to get his championship back. That's more than promoting him going against the guy that just gave him a tough match.
And that is a big deal. That becomes because he's come out and said, he's had to change his timing. He actually couldn't get back in the training camp because of how bad Gustafsson beat him up. Like, it became a whole thing. And they really are pushing out, for a rematch with this guy that he already beat. I do think it's a better storyline. I do think it has better pull and better resonance with the media. If it's hey, let's get a rematch now with Cormier and Jones because Cormier took his title from him. The problem is, though, Rashad Evans is not going to be easy. It's still a tough fight. How much do you think Rashad has changed up during this training camp, knowing he's going to have to go against a very, very hard hitter, an incredible athlete, a guy that's bigger, stronger, and just as fast as him?
I don't think Rashad had to change much because what he does works. You're talking about a guy that's 24-3. Not many people get to 24-3. That's an outstanding record for mixed martial arts, especially fighting at the level that he has for as long as he has. I don't think Rashad needed to change much. He needs to fight the way that he fights, be elusive, be fast, and it'll give himself the best chance to win the fight. I've got a dogfight on my hands. I think he's the toughest matchup that I've ever had, and he'll be the toughest matchup that I'm going to have for a really long time because he does have the same type of skill set that I have. He's fast, he's quick, and he can wrestle.
Does it worry you at all that Kenny Monday is down there taking care of his wrestling program?
You know what, man? If I was wrestling Kenny Monday, it would worry me. If I was fighting Kenny Monday, it would worry me. But on February 22nd, Rashad Evans has to get in the cage, not Kenny Monday. So as much as I respect Kenny, and I would much rather prefer never to stand across the cage from him because he's one of my idols, a guy that I looked up my entire life. Kenny Monday can't fight for him. He has to get in the cage and beat Daniel Cormier, and everything Kenny teaches him in the gym, it's going to help him. But at the end of the day, he has to implement those things that not many people can do what Kenny Monday can do. I can't do what Kenny Monday can do. I'm not sure if Rashad Evans can either. So it bothers me only because Kenny's my idol, one of my idols, and it'll suck to see him across the cage from me.
Who's going to corner you for this one? Because we know Kenny's going to be in Rashad's corner. Who's coming in for yours?
Same team, man. I've got an army that I go to war with every time. Rosendo Sanchez, boxing coach. Javier Mendez, my head striking coach and head coach. Bob Cook, my head coach. And Leandro Vieira. He's my jiu-jitsu coach, a guy that actually made me embrace the ground. Something I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do jiu-jitsu. I didn't want to learn again. I was so used to being the big dog in wrestling. I had to go back to a white belt for 4 years before I even ever got a promotion. So that's my army. Those are the guys that I go to battle with. Rudy Cruz Jr. is another guy that works on my stand-up, and he's going to be in the locker room with us. Too bad I can't take him to the cage, because if I could, I would take all 5 of them. But I can take these 4, and those 4 is as good as they get. I have the best coaches in the world, and I trust them with my life and with my career.
It's going to be a great matchup. I'm really excited for this fight coming up on February 22nd. It's going to be a really, really big deal. Obviously, it's in my hometown in Las Vegas, and I should be in town for that one, and hopefully things will come together. I should be watching at ringside. But
it would hurt my heart if you weren't there, Trigg. Don't do this to your brother, man. Come on, Trigg.
Thanks for lying to me. I appreciate that. He don't care if I'm there or not. But let's move on to something that's more important. Let's talk about pro wrestling. Aren't you taking off tonight to go watch WWE?
You know what time it is. The Austin podcast on Monday, and then the WWF tonight. I might just step in the ring. I told my boy Jack Swagger, who, even with the disadvantages that he is at in life because of the university that he went to, he did pretty good, didn't he? Hey, Jack Swagger, talk about this guy. Talk about a guy having to overcome obstacles, right? This dude went to Oklahoma University, and he still did pretty good for himself. I told him, put me ringside. Maybe I'll get a Ric Flair chop off once in a while.
Cormier can't let it go. You just can't let it go.
I can't let it go.
All I got to ask you is, what happened in Bedlam this year between OU and OSU? What happened?
Trigg.
What?
So I tell all you Sooners the same thing. Frank Trigg, Danny Rubenstein, Jake Hagar. I'm not calling him Jack Swagger. Jake Hagar. Guys, enjoy it now because it won't last long. The Cowboys will be back. I'm telling you.
Hey, when you got coaches like John Smith at OSU and Mark Cody over at OU in a wrestling program, nothing can last forever, but the rivalry is going to be incredible now that Mark has finally got the lineup.
Forever.
It's going to be the best thing for the Big 12. It absolutely is the best thing for wrestling in Big 12 is getting that swagger back between the two, because at some point, someplace, we're going to be 1-2 in a national title too. It's going to be Oklahoma State winning, OU taking second, OU winning, Oklahoma State taking second. That's how it goes.
Hey, Frank, I can be fine with that. I can be fine with, we'll be 1-2 on the podium as long as we always win it. Fine.
Look at you just throwing it in there. Well, have fun tonight, WWE. It'll be interesting. Jack Swagger should keep you highly entertained.
Yeah, those guys are good, man. I can't wait. I'm excited about it.
Unlike your university, though, he actually has to park way, way far away. He doesn't get the handicap parking up close with using his diploma. So he's going to go ahead and have to walk in. So you might actually beat him there because you can park right up next to the front door.
Oh, my goodness, Trigg. You guys, see? That's the thing, though. Now, that is the one thing. Your joke was a lot smarter than mine because I will admit, you guys at OU are a little smarter because in the classroom, you're a little better. I'll be honest with you, Trigg. But on the wrestling mat,
we didn't do well when I was there. That's for sure. it was a lot.
I'm just kidding, man. I love OU. Just like it's great for the I love wrestling, so OU's good. I love the rivalry. It's great.
Yeah, it's what kept us alive and keeps the passion going. And to be honest, if there wasn't college rivalries, there'd be no point in showing up every Tuesday and Thursday night trying to get a battle in.
Even when you're on TV, Trigg, and doing this, like it feels so good to just rib you. Hey, you Sooner. Right?
And you know what? We got to take because I know at the end of the day you're going to be asking me for a job when you retire from fighting.
Yes, I will, Trigg. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm still going to go, you stupid Sooner.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon, bud. Thanks for coming on.
All right, Frank. UFC 170, Mandalay Bay, man. You guys make sure to get it on pay-per-view. And if you're in Vegas, come check it out. It's going to be a good show.